Hello students, welcome back. This is class 10th, subject English, and today we are going to start our grammar topic tenses, which is chapter number 6 in your grammar book. In this lecture, in lecture number 1, we are going to cover present indefinite and present continuous, and in next lecture we shall cover next two part, which are present perfect and present perfect continuous. And after the discussion of present indefinite and present continuous tense, we will discuss homework solution of poem third, A Tiger in the Zoo. Let us begin with tenses. What is a tense? Actually, tense is the form of a verb which shows the time at which an event occurs and the degree of completeness or incompleteness of the event. Means tenses locate a situation in time. It indicates time. To indicate when the situation takes place, the three types of tenses are, there are three kinds of tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. Present tense, a verb which refers to present time, is said to be in the present tense. Example, I write, I study. Then past tense, a verb which refers to past time, is said to be in the past tense. For example, I wrote, I studied. Then future tense, a verb which refers to future time, is said to be in the future tense. Example, I will write, I will study. Note, to show what time we are referring to, each of the above form is further split into simple, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous form. Means tenses are divided into three parts: present, past and future. And further, these parts, these kinds are divided into four kinds: present indefinite, present continuous, present perfect continuous in the same manner in past indefinite, past continuous, past perfect continuous, and in the same manner in future indefinite, future continuous, future perfect and future perfect continuous. So today we are going to cover two types of present tense, which are present indefinite and present continuous. So let us begin with present indefinite. These are some examples in our day-to-day life. She doesn't like school. He gets an A+ on every quiz. He always listens to the teacher. So you might have noticed here we have used doesn't plus first form of the verb like. Then we have used gets. With first form of the verb we have used s. Then in next sentence also the same thing. With listen we have used s. Simple present tense expresses habitual action, present state or a condition, future action even, general truths or facts. So let us move to its usage. Usage and structure of simple present or present indefinite tense. Structure is subject plus V1 means first form of the verb, or with first form of the verb we use s or es plus object. With third person singular we use first form of the verb plus s or es. Now the usage, habitual action. It is used for habitual actions like he gets up early in the morning. Then present indefinite tense is used for scientific for expressing scientific facts like water freezes at 0 degrees centigrade. Then it is used to express universal facts or general truth like the sun rises in the east or the rose smells sweet. And it is also used to introduce quotations like Keats says, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." And it is also used for a planned future action. For example, the match starts at 9 o'clock. So first form of the verb is used with plural subject and first form plus s or es is used with singular subject or third person singular in affirmative sentences. Do is used with plural subject and does is used with singular subject or third person singular in negative and interrogative sentences. No s or es with do or does. Some examples are given. I do not watch TV in the morning. Next is of interrogative sentence. Do you like mangoes? Some more examples. The sun heats the atmosphere. Here heats. Heat verb is used here and s is used with heat because the sun is singular. The heart pumps blood through the body. This is scientific truth. We usually play soccer. You always work. Then these words are often used with present indefinite like always. I always read before I go to bed. Often, her sister often comes shopping with us. Frequently, Michael frequently visits his family. Sometimes, you sometimes go to the gym, don't you? Occasionally, it occasionally rains in summer. Seldom, they seldom ask for help. Rarely, he rarely goes out without his backpack. Here he is third person singular, so that's why we have used here es with go. He goes. And they is plural, third person plural. So here we have used only first form of the verb ask. Next is hardly ever. I hardly ever eat pizza. They never. Japanese people never wear shoes inside. So these are some examples. Now let us move to present continuous or present progressive or imperfect tense. In this tense, structure of this tense is we use subject plus is or am or are plus first form of the verb plus ing plus object, and its usage are first action taking place. It is used or it expresses action taking place at the time of speaking. Like example, I am teaching tenses at present. Then it expresses action continued over a period of time in the present. Example is, I am working on a science project nowadays. Keywords which are generally used with this tense are nowadays, it at present, these days. The verbs which are used with present continuous tense are in main verb we use first form plus ing and in helping verb we use is, am, are. So the structure is subject plus is or am or are plus first form plus ing plus object. So here are some examples. Go away. I am reading a book. So right now I am reading a book. So this action is going on at the time of speaking. You are always working. So it happens frequently. It is a habitual action. Then I am going to Madrid next week. It is also used for near future. Time expressions we use with the present continuous tense. With the present continuous, we use these time expressions. Notice that the time expression can come at the start or at the end of the sentence. Examples: at the moment, I am watching TV at the moment. So this time expression can be written in the beginning as well. Like, at the moment, I am watching TV. These days, Paul is living in Cardiff these days. Now, what are you doing now? Nowadays. I think you are smoking too much nowadays. In negative and interrogative sentences, how will we write these sentences? He is not studying at this time. And in interrogative, are you going to write the answers? So this was all about present indefinite and present continuous tense. So you are supposed to read all the usage of these tenses and do this exercise given here in your homework. There are 15 sentences. So you are supposed to write this exercise in your notebook and fill in the blanks with appropriate form of the verb. Now let us move to the homework solution of lecture 1 of poem 3rd, A Tiger in the Zoo. This is class 10th, subject English. So before discussing the question answers, I am going to summarize the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. So this is the summary of the poem. The poem begins with a description of a tiger that is very beautiful and is walking in his little cage. He has beautiful stripes on his skin and has velvet-like soft paws. But the tiger is not happy and is quite angry about being confined in the cage. The poet says that if the tiger was not confined to the zoo cage, he would have been hiding himself behind the long grass near some water body in order to catch its prey, that is the deer. Also, he would have terrorized the residents of the villages around the forest area. But the reality is totally opposite to this. He was confined in a cage which was made up of strong building material and he was helpless there. He couldn't show his power to the visitors, therefore never tried to terrorize them. The tiger is described as being powerless and agonized by the poet. He says that during night also he is alone, hearing the voice of the patrolling vehicles of police and looking at the stars. The cage life has totally changed the tiger's personality. The poet is trying to say that the animal, which is famous for its fearlessness and freedom, is confined and sad due to the human beings who want to derive pleasure by looking at him in the zoo cage. First question was, read the following extract carefully and answer the questions that follow. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rays. Question 1. Why the tiger could walk only a few steps? How does the tiger move in the cage? And what are the two qualities of the animal under reference? And why is he in quiet rays? So the answers are, the tiger could walk only a few steps because he was locked in a very small cage. Next, the tiger moves very slowly and quietly in a threatening way. C part, the tiger has vivid stripes on his body and soft velvet pads. Then next answer, he is in quiet rays as he is locked and his freedom has been curtailed. Thus, he is unable to show his anger and ferocity. Question number 2. How does the tiger create terror for the villagers? The tiger creates terror for the villagers by snarling around their houses as they are situated near the jungle. He frightens them by showing his white fangs and claws. Then, question number 3. Describe the tiger in the cage. Answer is, the tiger in the cage is just a diminished form of his original self. He paces up and down in the cage restlessly. He is confined in the narrow cell and keeps staring the stars as if longing for freedom. He is helpless and draws pity for his condition. Question number 4. Where should the tiger have been according to the poet? The poet thinks that the tiger should have been in the jungle, lurking in the shadow of long grass to prey on the deer near the waterhole. He should also be on the outskirts of the jungle, snarling around houses and terrifying villagers. So, students, these are the answers of 4 questions. So, you are supposed to write all the answers in your Fair English notebook.